She thought you'd wait forever, that you'd stay broken, wondering where it went wrong. She thought walking away would leave you chasing, but it didn't. Because pain is a powerful teacher, and while she's busy looking back, you're too far ahead to see her anymore. This isn't about revenge, it's about evolution. And by the time she realizes what she lost, you'll have already become someone she no longer has access to. She'll regret it. Not because she lost the version of you she knew, but because you became everything she never saw coming. You were loyal. You gave your time, your energy, your heart. You showed up when no one else did. You were there through the chaos, the silence, the hard moments. But people don't always value what's real until it's gone. She mistook your kindness for weakness. She thought your loyalty was desperation. She thought she could leave and come back, because deep down, she believed you'd still be waiting. But here's what she never saw coming. Time. Time is cruel when you're filled with regret. And once she sees you building, healing, rising without her, regret will sink in. Not all at once, but slowly. She'll feel it when the texts stop coming. She'll feel it when you don't watch her stories. She'll feel it when her friends mention your name, and she realizes she's no longer part of your story. The world will give her attention, sure. But not your presence, not your protection, not your depth. She'll look for you in other people, and she won't find it. Because what you gave wasn't casual, it was rare. And the rarest thing a man can give is his full self. Once you give that and walk away, she will regret it. But you'll be long gone. At first, it hurt. Of course it did. You spent nights replaying every moment, every word, wondering what you did wrong, wondering if maybe you weren't enough. But you were. You just gave your energy to someone who didn't know how to receive it. And one day, maybe after the 100th time you almost texted her, you stopped. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally started caring about yourself more. You got tired of feeling like a ghost in your own life. You stopped chasing closure. You stopped waiting for the apology that would never come. You stopped explaining your worth to someone who had already made their choice. That's the moment everything changed. You didn't post about it. You didn't rage about it. You just shifted inward. Quietly, powerfully. You hit the gym. You read more. You went silent. You embraced solitude. You showed up for yourself the way you used to show up for her. And every day, it got a little easier. Not because the pain disappeared, but because you grew stronger than it. Now, you don't think about her when you wake up. You think about the man you're becoming. You stopped waiting. And that was the most powerful decision you ever made. Heartbreak isn't a curse, it's a mirror. It shows you everything you forgot about yourself while you were too busy trying to love someone else. You stopped chasing people and started chasing purpose. Every great man has a moment where pain becomes fuel. That was yours. You picked up your broken pieces and built something unshakable. Your routine became sacred. You trained, you worked in silence. You didn't post updates. You didn't seek validation. You became the version of you that only pain could create. And here's the truth. Most men stay broken because they wait to be healed by the same person who hurt them. But not you. You understood that growth doesn't come from being saved. It comes from becoming your own savior. Now people see the change. You walk with purpose. You speak with weight. You don't react, you respond. You don't seek attention, you command respect. She'll see it too, eventually. She'll see the glow up. She'll hear about the progress. She'll wonder how you became so solid, so calm, so untouchable. But by then, the version of you she knew will no longer exist. You built a life that doesn't have space for her anymore. Not out of spite, but out of evolution. And that's the most beautiful revenge, self-mastery. Comment below, I stopped waiting, I started building. I want to see how many of you chose yourself over pain. You didn't block her, you didn't rage, you didn't beg, you went silent, and in that silence, you rebuilt. People think silence is weakness, but real men know silence is a weapon. You didn't need to scream to show pain, you didn't need to post quotes to show growth, you just disappeared into discipline. That's what scares them the most, not your anger, your indifference. Because when a man goes silent after being hurt, it means something deeper. It means he's transforming. She might have expected you to spiral, to chase, to beg. Instead, you became quiet, focused, obsessed with your purpose. She'll hear about you through whispers. She'll check your stories and see you glowing. She'll feel that unease because you're no longer available. Not emotionally, not spiritually, not energetically. You reclaimed all the energy you gave away and turned it inward. That's where real power comes from. And the man who can sit in silence and build is the man no one forgets. So when people ask why you don't talk about her, just smile. Because silence said what words never could. One day, she might text you again, a short message. Hey, maybe at 1 a.m., maybe after seeing a photo of you looking stronger, sharper, more at peace. But it won't hit the same, because the version of you that used to long for her no longer exists. She's not texting you, she's texting the memory of the man she left. But you've outgrown that memory. You won't reply out of pain. You won't seek closure, because you already gave it to yourself. Here's the truth most people never admit. They come back when your energy is no longer chasing them. They return when you've healed enough to no longer need them. But don't mistake her return for love. It's regret. It's loneliness dressed up as connection. Don't fall for it. You didn't spend all this time rebuilding just to let the past rent space in your future. Be kind, be calm, but most importantly, be done. Let her regret echo in silence while you keep building something she can never be part of again. You're not the same man she left. You're better. You don't need revenge. You don't need closure. You don't need her. You just need to stay the course. Because true strength isn't found in replacing people. It's found in refining yourself. She'll regret losing you, but you won't be waiting. You'll be walking forward, surrounded by new energy, new purpose, new peace. And she'll become a faded memory in a chapter you've already closed. That's how healing works. It doesn't scream, it doesn't post quotes, it just becomes undeniable. The man who used to cry at night now wakes up with power in his steps. The man who begged for answers now speaks in silence and purpose. You don't need to be remembered, you need to become unforgettable. Not for her, but for you. If this spoke to your soul, it's because you've already started to rise. Keep building in silence. Subscribe if you're done waiting and you're ready to win. She lost me, I found myself. Let's see how many men have walked that road and never looked back.